I would like to show you some games of Andrew Tate. So I investigate the internet about his online chess accounts. Many people suggest one account on the chess.com, so I check it out. It is an account from Romania, and interesting thing is that in this account there is a gap between the chess games from 28 December 2022 until 4th April 2023, which basically overlap with his jail time. I investigated the games and his player's strengths. So in these games he plays as white d4 on almost all the games, which is the same he plays from the over the board from the over the board games we have available. He plays over 2,000 times d4, couple of times he plays d3, which is probably mouse sleep, and he have some moves with e4, which is probably when he was a drunk. From the facts available, I would say that there is a high probability that this is actually Andrew Tate's account. We'll see the game, but before we'll introduce serials 16th you should never tell people, and we'll tell one thing for every next video. I hope you enjoy it, and let's see the game. Andrew Tate was white and he plays d4 as always. His opponent's response was knight to f6, which is Indian defense. Then we have c4, d5, bishop to g5, which is martial defense. Then we have dc4, e3. Here Tate attacked this c4 pawn, and he broke some principle, because it is common stuff to develop knights before bishop, but never mind. His opponent plays knight to e4 to attack the bishop. Tate plays bishop to h4, go bishop back with his bishop. Then we have g5. His opponent attack his bishop. Bishop to g3 only move. And now we have knight to g3, and now we have hg3. Tate lose the bishop, but he have opened the diagonal on h file. Then we have bishop to e6, which is not the standard move, because you don't want to make the bishop move in front of your pawns in the opening. Anyway, we have queen to a4 check. This is one more principle to break, because don't develop your queen too early. And we have c6, which is blocking the check. And now I don't know what Tate was smoking, but he plays bishop to c4, which is hang the bishop, because his opponent could play b5, and he would lose the bishop. But his opponent didn't see that. He plays bishop takes c4, and he recaptured the bishop. Then we have queen to a5 for black, give the check same as Tate. We have queen to c3, block the check. Then we have queen exchange. Black then played knight to d7, knight to e4. Tate attacked the g5 pawn, and black defends it with h6, but not really, because his rook was attacked. His rook was pinned, so Tate could actually take this pawn, and black would lose the rook. But Tate didn't see it, because he probably was a bit rusty. He played knight to f3. His opponent now plays bishop to g7. Now he defends this rook, and now Tate connect his rooks. He could castle long, he could castle short, but he played king to e2, and his opponent goes for the long castle. Then we have b4. Tate grabs the space on the queen side. We have f5. His opponent grabs space on the king side. Then we have knight to c5, knight to c5, b to c5, and Tate have this beautiful pawn structure in the center. Then we have rook h to e8, preparing for some pawn pushes. And we have a4, grabbing more space on the queen side. a6, and then we have rook h to d1. Then we have a6. Better move was a5 to open up this beautiful pawn structure for white, and to attack his king, because Tate king is on the center. But we have e6, and then we have king to f1. He get his king out of the danger. Then we have bishop to f6, we have rook to d2, rook to h8, rook to b1. Black will attack on the king side and Tate will attack on the queen side. We have h5, rook to b2, rook to d7, knight to d2. He tried to remaneuver this knight because there is some very nice square for this knight, and if he could get some free moves, that would be great for the white. But we have h4, black striked immediately. We have gh4, and then we have rook to h4. We have king to g1. We have e5, knight to c4, rook to h7, threatened checkmate on direct checkmate on h1. Here Tate played g3, made a breathing room for his king. We have rook to h1, we have king to g2, we have exchanged rooks on the b1, ed4. Best thing for the Tate would be to give the check with his knight, because after black moved his king, he would have f5 pawn collect, and he would have his c5 pawn intact. But instead he played d4 recapture, then we have bishop to d4 recapture, and then we have knight to d6 now. But it is a bit different, because black played king to b8, we have knight to f5, bishop to c5, he captured this important, strategically important pawn. Then we have knight to e3, rook to e7, knight to c4, and then we have rook to f7, attack the f2 pawn. Tate was the pawn down. In this position he played rook to b2, defend the f2 pawn. Then we have king to a7, knight to a5, bishop to b6, knight to c4. Tried to grab this bishop, but black didn't allow that. He played bishop to c7, f3, a5. We have g4, b6, then we have rook to e2, and then we have king to b7, knight to e5, attack the rook, rook plays f4, and then he attacked the e4 pawn, and Tate have no good response to this. He could play something like this, but after rook recapture, his knight would hanging, so he lose this e pawn and the game. His last move was try to muddy the waters with knight to g6 to attack the rook, but black just take the e4 pawn, and in this position Tate resigned the game. He resigned the game because black have 3 connected passers and white have no counterplay whatsoever, so it would be easy pawn pushes and easy win for black. Our tip for today, what to not tell the people, is don't tell people your plans. They will sabotage you. You can tell them your plans in the comment section, because I'm just a random guy on YouTube. We'll see you in next video with some new games and some new tips. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.